We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about why crypto is getting ready, what it's getting ready for. Of course, the breakout of this month-long, year-long cup and handle pattern, and also it's getting ready to react to a couple of very important events that we're going to face here in the next days and weeks to go. And also, there are new developments in the realm of Ecomi and Veve, NFTs, and so on. So let's see. I hope you can hear me because I don't see anyone in the chat, but we will see in a couple of seconds. Stay tuned all the way through. So, good morning, each and every one. Now that let me wait a little bit. Of course, you guys have tuned in, but my streaming software here said 0 people for the entire time. But yeah, let me know how you're doing, and let me take a quick sip of this Crypto Morning Coffee before we start. Very great. Okay, so I see Trucking Hank is already here. Damn stamps. Well, I can confirm. I participated, also didn't get the secret rare. I got an ultra rare on that one. For everyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, is the Veve app. Yeah, stamp drop from Stanley Gibbons on the Veve app. But so far so good, guys. Make sure to smash up the like button right now. Very important that you smash up the like button for this channel to grow. Also subscribe if you haven't yet. Here, number go up. And notifications on so that you never miss when I am going live. The moment that we're breaking out, we're going to switch up the pace for more live streams, because then I can assure you already that there will be news like we have every day flowing in every hour. So we will be it will be necessary to then follow up on altcoin news, on specific altcoins all the time once retail is coming in, because then basically every hour will be asked like when will it go up more, will this coin be good, whatever, right? So, but we're not there yet, and we will see that in a second. So let's start with that actually. So let's see where we are right now in the crypto space, and then I have also some nice things to show you. So we are coiling up since a couple of days. So Bitcoin really liked the weekend. And it's interesting because a couple of other metrics actually are pointing to more blood, and that could happen. So let's lay out the cards and see the scenario. So what we anticipated is still marked here, that from Sunday to Monday, so today, we are going to pump and break out, right? Well, of course, that did not happen, as always with predictions there, more or less. but we will see if this breakout comes during this week maybe, or maybe during this month, as it is supposed to be October. Maybe we can break out here, but let's lay out all the scenarios. So what we had here was first another attempt of many, right? You see here, to break out of this bull flag / falling channel. And we failed, we got rejected also because this entire thing is basically the Hezbollah rockets and so on, right? On Israel, and Israel moving into the Lebanon. That is this correction, and now the market get used to it apparently. But one possibility is that you basically get an A, a B, and a C correction where you even drop lower, and then really everyone will be crying, right? Or it looks like this, A, B, C, right? Something like that, very tiny lower, and then you fake out like a correction. Every impulsive move has a corrective move, and if you drill down in the time frames, you will see impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, right? It's always that way. So you have overall you have an impulse move, a corrective move, right? And the corrective move can look like this. Do we want to go low again to the bottom line of this? Absolutely not. We would be approaching 50,000. We don't want to. Can it happen? Yes, of course it can happen. Everything can happen in crypto. And the question would only be, why would it happen, right? And that's also the other side is you come down here, you fake out, you come back up, okay, this looks good, you approach this, and suddenly you break it, right? You retest and you go. And this is very important, the second part of what I just said. You retest and then you go. You break out, you retest, and then you go. And this is the signal, not this breakout, right? The signal is this retest. Why? Because look at this here. So you come and you break out, and oh my god, crypto going to the moon, and then you come back in, right? No retest here, no retest on this week. Also here, breakout, retest, no retest. Unfortunately, back under the line, you see it here, right? And here also breakout, retest, no retest, right? So we never had this retest, but we had many small fake outs here, 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 right? So we're really waiting for this signal to happen, and that requires that we're approaching this overhead resistance once more. How could that happen? Now, I told you that there are a couple of things coming up. First of all, there is, where is it? There was wasn't there a 9th of October, like FOMC meeting? Well, we have it up in another thing anyway. So then let's look at this quickly. So from a long, like if you zoom out, nothing really has changed, right? All the turmoil of the last 2 weeks are baked in this little millimeter here, right? But the range is really bigger, and at some point it will break out. Will it be now, maybe in 1 week, maybe in 2 weeks? Nobody knows. But it will decide at some point. And the good thing for us is this trend line is coming down. So either Bitcoin has to move down in a big way, or at some point this break is inevitable, right? So because this overhead resistance is just coming down to 63 or something over the next couple of weeks. So there will be a decision, and this decision will lead us to approximately 120,000 if broken to the upside, and it will lead us, if broken to the downside, into the next bear market without an expansive phase or expansion phase. Now, that is some good decision, right? So now while you're in, it's all good, right? So let's go. No one wants to see that phase, but unfortunately we have to talk about it because she wants to ban Twitter, or at least wants censorship in Twitter. So listen to this quickly.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm. But if the platform...
You see, it's very point blank. You get that one? She's like, oh, if these platforms don't moderate, as we say, we lose total control. Listen again. She says, we lose total control.
whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the
even like she says, like we lose total control. We lose total control. She says. She says they already lost control basically. So why am I showing this to you? Because obviously you see, like for example, 80% of my content is made up on browsing Twitter and finding exactly what is relevant, condense this into a morning show, right? I mean, it's not that I can't do morning streams anymore without Twitter, but it would be a pain in the, so that is one thing. But the other side is me crying about the content is not the important thing. It's like there are people out there, and they are not only a few. There are people out there that want that free speech is only so free, right? You have free speech, but then you can't do this, that, and you can't say this, and you better not think about this and that, and you don't propagate certain things, right? So it's just like it's really, and it's funny coming out of her mouth. Anyway, everyone bring their own decision or opinion to the table. Then we had this one here, like look at this facial expression. So, it's like Trump brought his autistic son to the rally, and now he can not making fun about autistic people in any way, but it's like Elon can play now, and he's like having a lot of fun, apparently. So that's basically, this is the bull picture for crypto, because he is going to put strategic reserve, and he's like, I mean, in this, if this was a Bitcoin logo, it would be perfect. But the elections are coming up, right? And this is what I'm saying. And it's about fiat money versus Bitcoin. It's about free speech versus what Hillary just said, right? Regulating and banning it, I don't know what, right? And it's going to affect the price. It's going to affect the markets. It's going to affect everything, right? So this is one of the major events that is coming up in the next couple of weeks, right? So will we fly from here? Maybe, or maybe it takes another couple of weeks until we are in these elections, right? Then also, this one was important. Unfortunately, it didn't make the Friday news anymore. The European Union said Coinbase is going to delist USDT and other non-compliant stablecoins in the EU because of MiCA regulation. Now, I have been positive about MiCA regulation because I thought it's good that they lay the groundworks, and it was relatively obvious that competitors to CBDCs are going to be delisted. But you have to know that by December 30, 2024, Tether is over. So if you have any Tether in the EU, you will not be able to use it anymore. Obviously you can send it to your MetaMask wallet and maybe use it somewhere else, but maybe check out which stablecoins are accepted by your exchanges, or maybe even convert the Tether into something real that is not bannable, right? So anyways, I mean, we have all of that happening here, and that is obviously a little bit suppressing in the EU. Also, this is super interesting. This PowerPoint is a slide from BlackRock talking about how the dollar lost its value, right? So they say like 1913 US establishes the Federal Reserve System. Again, the Federal Reserve is neither federal nor is it a reserve, right? Also, the EU is enacting a ban on private gold holdings in 33, and then 71 the US ends the convertibility of gold to USD, right? And that's all. That's like the BlackRock. You see here down below, iShares by BlackRock, right? So they're literally telling why you have to invest, and they're telling their holders or the potential future holders exactly about how currency debasement, how inflation works, and what happens to your money if you don't invest it. And part of their investment portfolio is obviously actively promoting Bitcoin, right? So very interesting here also to see. Now let's come to what I was going to tell you. Wednesday, we have the Fed FOMC minutes, right? So this is this Wednesday, and the minutes are important because it's you can read what is being talked about when deciding about such a 50% or 50 basis point rate cut, right? So that is interesting. And then very big, probably the biggest in the week is the Thursday, because you get CPI inflation, so consumer price index, and also jobless claims, right? The both numbers that decide whether the Fed strategy is working or not, once again. So this could make Bitcoin already go higher, break out, or have it go down again, right? We never know the effect. But if the numbers are good, stable, pointing to what is it called, like a soft landing, right? Then, if that's happening, then Bitcoin could fly in this week, right? PPI inflation on Friday, consumer sentiment. So these are things that are, basically this Thursday. I would say Wednesday plus Thursday. It could be the catalyst. It could be a catalyst. Otherwise, if this isn't the catalyst, then very likely only the election is left as catalyst, right? And then you have to wait until the 4th of November. It's funny, like how my software is filtering out what he just said. Trump must win to save USA Democrats. To save the USA Democrats, a liar and spread misinformation. I think this is something where we have to be a little bit objective. Is like a lot of misinformation is being spread in everything, like in war, in elections, all the time, right? It's also, and it's not only in the US. It's a worldwide phenomenon that you're describing, right? Is in this constellation that we're having in the world, there is a lot of misinformation coming out on, I would even say, on all sides, but a couple, like there's one side that's a little bit more leaning to very aggressive, and has a specific mainstream channel to push out misinformation, right? So this is also something to note here. Then let's also see Peter that says, if Trump wins, he won't waste money on wars that are unwinnable. Yeah, and I think that argument has a claim, right? It has a claim because we have already 4 years of Trump behind us, or behind the U.S. citizens, right? But also we as a world, and he didn't start a war, so that is a very valid argument. Keep up the good work on live streams. Do you think BTC topped already, or are we heading higher to at least 100K? This is a very easy thing to answer for me. I think we have not topped out, and I will even present some reasons today. Also, I think that more likely than not, we are going to break out here with this measured move on this cup and handle at some point, and let's say it's going to happen here. So you get the 119,200 dollar target. This would be the breakout target. Obviously, we need to break out, confirm on a at least daily basis to have this happen. But I think this is the more likely target because of global liquidity expansion. I cannot say this enough, not claim this enough, not state this enough. This is global liquidity expansion that is driving almost everything here, and it's expanding at the moment. So it's a train that cannot really be stopped. It can be delayed, but it cannot be stopped. And I think this is also the nature of the cycles there are lengthening cycles, and maybe this is where we have to cool off just more of our expensive move. But yes, the closer, I think we did not top out yet. None of the indicators is showing that we have topped out, right? So for example, if you look here, the RSI doesn't really claim that. The TSI doesn't claim that. So you see the TSI down below. I will only say that we have topped out, and this is really the bear market if the TSI crosses bearishly, which it won't if we pump, right? So there you go. Anyways, let's see here. Okay, so this is the thing, and then also we have earnings this week, and that is like JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, also the BlackRock himself, which could, because of the ETFs and everything, it could be very, very interesting for the market to look at BlackRock earnings. And also maybe they even disclose what they are earning with, like, in Bitcoin fees and whatever. Delta Airlines, PepsiCo, and Domino's Pizza are not. I mean, Delta Airlines is interesting, but the other ones I personally don't really care. But I think these four, they are bigger as in the earnings, what we're getting. Can you please chart Mantra OM maybe later? Have you heard about Mantra? Yeah, I heard it. And also, I think you have already asked. GMMVE, what's going on? Good to see you. So the interesting thing is, almost never October was that bad. And obviously we have a lot of time on our hands to turn this into green candle. But you see here, like the last 5 times, October was just green. And the likelihood of it being green is much higher than the likelihood of it turning out red. Also because there's just no reason for it. Despite if something, like if you look to Lebanon, Iran, or anywhere else, and you see a mushroom cloud in the sky, that's a reason why it could turn red. Other than that, I don't really know what could. What country are you located in? Melbourne, Australia. Greetings to Australia, other side of the world. I am in Germany. I am streaming from Germany. I'm sometimes all across the world, work related, but home base is Germany. So there you go. Here, 29 days before the US election, what is happening? Well, 29 days before the US election, where we are right now, basically, Bitcoin is only going up, really. There is a little blip here around this time in between. But other than that, we should be following this trajectory, right? You see this here? So this was 2016 to 2020, and now this is where we are. So it's very similar development. I mean, a blip here, right? Everything aligned. Going down a little bit, going down a little bit, going down a little bit. A bump. Not so much a bump, but going up already. Then here, going sideways until this point. And then going up, and maybe going up, right? So we are really on track just yet. If we are going sideways and down for the next 2 months or so into the end of the year, nothing happens, then I would really worry. But other than that, I think, hey, we might be just creeping up, going up, and then pumping from here, right? I mean, the funny thing is, it looks so flat, right? But it's not. This is our first top, and here behind the chat, this is from last cycle, our second top, right? So we should really go into this trajectory once we're approaching the elections, right? And then Polymarket says Trump is leading, Trump is better for Bitcoin. So for now, it looks good. So why isn't there a top? Listen, the top is marked by miners taking profit. So here is the realized profit ratio by a balanced cohort. And usually what you see is that you have these massive spikes on the balance, like on the pump that we don't have, right? Here's the pump, you have these massive spikes, but then also you have the outflow right here on the downside once the top is in. Here also like outflow starting like hell, and then you have more outflows even on the smaller balance chords, but also on the bigger ones, right? And then here the funny thing is, and I think this is because of the ETFs, you have some outflows, but you don't really have the stacking here, right? So sorry, you didn't see that. Let me show you. So here, this is probably the ETF outflows now that are building something else that we didn't have. Like this is retail. So you see the actually it's 10 to 100. I don't know if maybe that's 10 to 100k and it's not retail. But you see here that the 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoin. No, it's not here. They put grade 10,000 plus out. So it's really blue is retail, right? So retail is obviously small outflows because they don't have much. But here you see a lot of retail outflow. And then the 100 to 1,000 Bitcoin, you see they have the outflows here also, and then massive inflows here. And then the 1,000 to 10,000, you see them really like boom, piling up on this pump, right? On the pumps. And we didn't see this. We didn't really see this here. We only saw it here on the bear market trough. So it's a calm before the storm, as Peter Dell says, and I would agree. It's a calm before the storm because we need to see the spike first and then the outflow. Excuse me, that was unexpected, but yeah. Anyway, so miners didn't take profits yet, I would say, right? Miners didn't take profits yet, not in that format that we are used to. Also, this is interesting, like going back to our inflation is theft and so on. These are the S&P 500 returns with and without inflation. So without inflation, the S&P 500 did give you since 1967. So most of us not alive for a while, right? For example, for me, this is where I was born, like in the middle of these. And then and then you see it also like it's 600% over this entire period, right? 600% gains over, what is that, like 50 years? Whereas the like by inflation, it just made 6,500%, the S&P 500. But it also shows like that's a 66x, right? That's a very long time for a 66x. A meme coin does it faster. Just joking, but yeah, it shows you investing in the S&P 500 since 50 years gives you a purchasing power return of 7x your money, which is good. It's fine, but nominal, you're like up like hell, right? And I think what is important is though the outperformance that you have over someone that is only in cash, right? If you're investing, and that's I think cannot be neglected, and that is what is reflecting in Bitcoin, right? This outperformance. This is something worrying. Right, for all crypto investors, it's over for some of us. Least attractive male hobbies: playing video games. Right? Okay, fine. Collecting figurines. Listen, if you're in Veve and Ecomi, this is already a problem. Only that you're collecting digital figurines, but it gets worse. Then also crypto. So this and this, like if you are in Ecomi, you lose on number 2 and 3 already, and you're waiting to play the Web3 games. And then also online trolling I don't know. This might be more a problem for the Veve fathers, but there you go. And then gambling, which refers to 3 and 2, right? But also number 3 in the major, like crypto is another form of gambling if you're betting on meme coins on a daily basis. So overall, if these are the least attractive male hobbies, here's the good turn of the plot twist, right? If you do number 3 and number 2 extensively like a nerd, and you get you become a multimillionaire by that, like you gamble on crypto and collectibles and you become a multimillionaire, then suddenly it's the inverse effect. If it goes right, you become the most attractive male. You're the one with the most attractive male hobbies, just because you drive a Lamborghini and you have a big house with a pool. Suddenly, your dating turns around. Anyways, I just found it funny that thing, right? Very very edgy, very edgy. But here we go. So back to the charts. One thing that we didn't want to see and that actually happened is the DXY. Look at this. The DXY somehow went on a tear, probably because other currencies devalued, maybe even more than the dollar. Also maybe because of the uncertainty in the world is the other factor. Uncertainty in the world leads to some countries moving into the dollar and not out of the dollar. What you want to see is at some point the dollar moving into assets, right? Into risk on assets. That's what's usually happening when the DXY collapses. So you see, for example, all the way, like all this downtrend. Here's our current bottoming plus bull market, all of that, right? And what you want to see is that this downward sloping thing is at some point losing support. We have talked about it, and again, right, you want to lose support and then you want to retest or reconfirm, and then you want to go, right? Not like here where you lose support and you don't retest, you just come up, right? Come up. Again, same rule. The DXY is coiling up right now. Actually not such a good environment. Still Bitcoin is holding strong. Still Bitcoin is going up. So we will see if the DXY can turn around and finally drop on the FOMC meeting and whatnot is coming in this week, right? So this is going to be very interesting to observe in the next couple of days and weeks to come. A little bit different story for the USDT dominance, right? So Tether. Now the question is, if Tether gets banned in the EU, obviously people are moving out of Tether also to go into another stablecoin. So the question will be, but I think because it's continuing to be a thing in the US, Tether is going to be a metric, but we have to be careful. Right now, though, until the end of the year, for sure, Tether is going to be the same metric as it was before. What we anticipated, or what we want, what we wanted to see is that we collapse here. Now we have to anticipate this somewhere here. So USDT dominance is forming lower highs, which means for us this is good, right? It's in a downtrend in this rising channel. Rising channels have a very high chance to break to the downside, and if it breaks to the downside, we can expect the moment that this breaks, it's also the moment that very, very likely Bitcoin is going to break. Let me show this to you. Let's get rid of this. Put this into a new frame. It's like a mirror, right? So let me show this to you. Move this up. There you go. It's like a mirror. Okay. So most of you have seen this already, but let me quickly move this here. See how this is a mirror image? Like literal mirror image of Tether dominance, USDT dominance, right? Even this bounce. And this is something that at least until now you could technically even trade, right? You come here, you bounce, you basically can short Bitcoin on this bounce. See how this Yeah, can you? Yeah, here it comes down, Bitcoin goes up. Yeah, exactly. So on the rejection, and then the contrary, right? You have this bounce, and then it goes down, right? So Bitcoin process, it's doing the exact inverse. It's doing the exact inverse. So what you want to see then, if it's doing the exact inverse, you want to have this collapse. This comes down again, like it did here, but in this time, you don't want to have it a double bottom and go. What you want to see is now that it finally drops like a rock to this resistance, hovers around here, drops again, right? This is what you want to see. Will it happen? Very likely. Very, very likely it's going to happen. So, good things ahead, I would say. Very likely it's going to happen. Also, what we said before is now taking effect. Gold on the weekly chart. Gold is moving sideways, and gold is has been breaking away from Bitcoin. So we see this here. Usually, you can see that Bitcoin and gold, they are more or less moving together, or gold is moving a couple of weeks, a month before, like this, right? Here, gold breaks away, and then the pink line, Bitcoin follows, right? Here, also like a pump. Gold and Bitcoin pump together. Now here, Bitcoin is going down, gold has already pumped, so very likely it's going to follow, right? Very likely Bitcoin is going to follow. There are little times where Bitcoin did not follow, right? Here's an example where it's a little bit like gold is already dropping off. Like this is your previous bull market. Gold has pumped all the way pump, and then already turning off, and then Bitcoin goes pump, right? And then collapsing. So here gold was front running like hell. And the question is, will gold be front running like hell again, right? Or is this already it? Like, will we follow in this time? But yeah, you see it here, right? And then also they drop off together, basically together. You see it here, right? So it's not perfect, but it shows us something. Justin says, I'm backing up the truck. For what? Altcoins, very interesting, right? Altcoins is... this falling channel had been breaking out, and then it didn't confirm, and then now it's breaking out again. So it's really interesting to see what's happening here, but so far so good, right? Higher lows for the altcoins and higher highs, hopefully. So this thing breaking out together with Bitcoin would be the dream, obviously, right? For sure, more bullish than bearish signs, I would say. Unfortunately, no clean retest here on the daily. Let's see how the weekly looks. Maybe we can argue. This is the time frame to look, because look at that. On the weekly, this is a clean retest. The weekly closed above this channel. Sometimes you have to move the time frame to really see what's going on. So all this time, we have ourselves a confirmation on the weekly of the altcoin breakout and a continuation here. And what's even better, look at the TSI for the altcoin. It's almost there. It's almost, we need a little bit more pump. It's almost there to fire positively and to pump on the weekly, right? TSI on the weekly. Last time, look at this. Look at this for the altcoins. Like, hold on to your hats. Here. The TSI flashes bullish here for on the weekly, and the consequence is, where's this flash? Like somewhere here. The consequence is a 3x out of all the altcoin, like the entire altcoin market except the top 10, right? This is what the others chart is. So, and also you see like falling channel breakout. This taking effect now. It's very likely that we are going to go nuclear from here for the altcoins, and hopefully also for Bitcoin, right? But this is if we cross, right? We did not cross yet, so hold on to your horses. We did not cross yet, but we are about to cross. Here's the weekly. Here's the RSI. RSI is not neither oversold nor overbought. It's just in the middle, as it should be. Usually RSI is 40 is the bottom of a move. We see it here, like in a bull market. We did find ourselves the RSI exactly at 40. And there you go, right? Green Lantern says, look at that. Look at Green Lantern with his gold, flexing with his gold medal there as a rare hodler. Like the rare hodler elite is here. GMPH and fellow hodlers driving now, hit the like. Yeah, guys. If you like this stuff, please smash up the like button. I mean, we are so close here for massive gains. We're so close to like 10x our portfolios, depending on how they are structured. We are very, very close to making the next step in our lives. Okay, that's bullish enough, guys. That's bullish enough. So let's see what's popping. Popcat is popping. Whiff is popping. Like people still did not abandon the shit roulette, which also shows you how early you are in the cycle. There's Pepe Bonk, Popcat, Whiff. Everything's pumping. BitTensor is pumping 16%. Celestia 10%. Om 9.1%. Wild, what is that? WorldCoin, not Wilder World. WorldCoin 10%. Everything's up. Everything in the top 100 is up, despite FTT because it pumped before, Hex because it pumped before, and both are shit coins. Monero is down by 4%. God knows why. But anyways, then also big pumps in the top 200. Giga is up 33, but then look at Nero. First Nero on Ethereum is up by 51%, and SPX 6900, God knows what that is up by 75%. And then the rest, like you see already how this works, right? Things are a little bit green. Some altcoins are out of control. See this here? This will be like every altcoin, also your altcoin, in the near future. Very likely. I think it's time to get bullish here, right? Then also Trump coin is up 26% with the laser eyes. Apu, personally something that I like, Apu Staya. Not that I bought it, I don't buy it, I just think it's a funny meme. And then at the same time where Apu is up, NPC is also pumping. Then here, Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu is also up 17%. I can't get over this name and that this thing is so big. Like, what is like a $200 million market cap in Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 Inu, right? They're like shitcoins left and right. It's crazy. Whereas something that is good like Pal AI is like 3%. Here Chainlink competition, band protocol, engine, a coin from last cycle, right? They're all like 3% creeping around, like, and the degenerate coins, they're absolutely bananas, right? Banana Gun sitting at 155 million. Ponke, it's just crazy. Cadena has a good day, 5%. Glimmer also 5%. Moonbeam is Moonbeam. Bridge GMX, good one. 6%. Harmony, I didn't see that for a long time. Harmony is up 6%. Overall, like, there's a lot of green in the market, but let's move on here quickly. One thing, Bitcoin power of law, right? Let's see if we can chart, if we can pull this up. Listen, Bitcoin power of law, I think it's a good thing to look at this from time to time. Just to put your all the bull runs and bears into perspective. So here you have everything. If you look at this, here you have all the bulls. Like, this is the $1 zone. This is then the first real cycle, I would say. And then you have here the 2016-17 one, and then our last one, right? And now people are saying, oh, we topped out here, right? According to Power of Law, we haven't even entered the bull run, because that would be at the linear regression fit, which is the green zone here. The linear regression fit is 75,000. If we break 75,000, the parabolic move starts. It's where we broke here, $40. It's where we broke here, $2,300. Here we faked out at 8,000, but then when we broke 17,000, it finally happened. And our move was always very drastic, right? So here we didn't break it. We got rejected from it. And now, ever since, we're trying to get back up. Now, the worst case scenario that you could get back to, according to Power of Law, the all-time low, if we were to collapse, if we would see something like worldwide pandemic plus nuclear clouds in the sky and something like that, according to Power of Law, is 34,000 per Bitcoin. This is the cheapest you would get. Now you have all these crazy dudes out there saying, the Bitcoin is going to $3,500. Listen, if that happens, I would personally find someone like a kidney transplantation and whatever, right? To buy as much as I can. However, I don't think it will even come close to that ever again. If Power of Law holds true, which it does since ever, basically, then just looking at, let's see, looking at the end of 2025, 36,000 is our absolute bottom of a bear market. Considering that we're very likely going to rally the entire year, or somewhere like through the entire year. After that, 2026, our bottom is at 50,000, right? And considering that we're probably going to bottom somewhere in 2026, our bottom for Power of Law is somewhere between 60 and 70,000. Meaning that today's prices are equal to a potential bottom. You would have to hit the exact bottom very likely to buy at the prices that we are today, right? So this is why these charts are pretty good. These Power of Law thingies, right, are pretty good. And then let's see just here, what would 2030 be? So the upper band is at above 1 million. Then the linear regression, so the bear market overhead resistance, is at 350,000. It's close to, and the absolute bottom would be double from where we are right now. So this shows you that it's just a matter of hodling and stacking more. But also, let's see. So let's say we are going to pump and top out somewhere during 2025. So the absolute upper band would be somewhere in the first quarters, would be somewhere at close to 400K. Let's assume we perform like last bear market and don't reach it. We would be at about between 100 and 200K. That absolutely aligns with what we're saying all the time. Let's move on to Ecomi. Ecomi wants to break out, like for real on a weekly. Ecomi wants to go higher because of the bullish things that are happening in this space right now. But it didn't. So hold your horses once again. It didn't break out. We are in a downtrend, inside of the downtrend, and we have faked out of the downtrend, but we came just back into it. Again, like the story of this, probably of this live stream is, one second. The story of this live stream is, don't believe these fake outs, right? Wait for confirmation. This is the story of this entire stream, right? We want to see this breakout and confirm the breakout and then go higher from there, right? So this didn't happen since a long time. This is obviously good. I mean, because it it changed a lot of OMI, changed hands from those who didn't want it anymore to those who wanted it. What's also good is that you're technically in a small uptrend, and as you can see here, you're basically getting compressed now. There is a decision necessary for this downtrend. At least, like, either this uptrend gets invalidated, the small one, or this bigger downtrend gets invalidated. In the grand scheme of things, though, even if that happens, we're not there yet. Not there yet for Ecomi. Not there yet. But there are a couple of things that are happening around Ecomi and Veve. Let's move to weekly. Actually, that was the 6th day, but who cares? So this wedge seems to be holding true. We're waiting for the whales to make their move. We are waiting to get a roadmap, but some things have changed. So first of all, you can now sell at fixed price and run an auction, list on Stacker for Omi, right? These are the 3 options. So you can now go, but you have to go to Stacker, right? If you look at the web app and you see this, you have to go to Stacker and then you can buy with Omi. That's happening. From that, there is burns happening. So here are the Friday statistics, because I chose them because they look a little bit better than the weekend ones, but there will be also weekly statistics. So on Friday, the Stacker transactions burned almost $2,000 of Omi, which is about 4.5 million. So on Friday, they burned more Omi than I am holding. I have 4.3 million, right? That's about $1,500. The total fees that have been changing hands have been $3,500, and the total Omi volume was 87,000 of 115 wallets transacting. So these are good numbers, but we're not there yet, right? We're not there yet, but these are good numbers. These numbers need to go up, of course. Also, we had, and this is something good, we had a problem at the stamp drop, which left some people pissed, but what is good about this is, so Mitch came out and said, sincere apologies for the interruption of service during the drop this morning. The immense popularity of the drop had us hitting bandwidth ceilings that Autoscale struggled to keep up with. Long story short, Penny Black gave us a black eye. The first good news is that Mitch is communicating about this problem. The second good news, it's because they underestimated the bandwidth necessary, which tells us that this drop had a little bit more unusual popularity or unusual inflow of new users, or of users in general, going to the app. I mean, I found myself going to this drop versus not going to 20 other drops, so it makes sense to me at least. However, they can't run into this problem all the time. Like, they need to be getting a little bit more bandwidth. It cannot be that expensive, right? And then also Ben Rose, new CEO here, came out and said, thanks for all the support and interest in this recent drop. We're building and growing digital collecting, but we're not infallible. When we make a mistake, we'll own it. That's good. And also him coming out directly, Mitch coming out directly, Veve official coming out directly. That is all very good, right? So what happened was this Stanley Gibbons bringing out a drop. They have only 5,000 followers on Twitter, but that doesn't mean that they do not have a following, right? So stamp collectors know very well who they are. Maybe they are not stamp collectors not using Twitter, but so now people that got a secret rare, they will get this you see the small Veve logo here, they will get this cased stamp. I don't know how much this will be worth, but yeah, people went for this drop. This drop did so sell out very quickly. I think in general it's very good. Also them sharing this and linking this. What we can find here for Veve is that the user numbers are climbing up on a faster scale at the moment, which is good. So basically, since I would say this is pretty good. So in the last 2 months, Veve got 400 and 25 or so users, like 430 users. That is a little bit more than they usually got, right? So usually they got about 100 per month. Now they're getting 200 on a month, which is fine, right? If you consider the bear market scarcity and you consider that these people apparently are not selling but buying, then that is pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, we can also look this maybe up. So there's the Veve, what's that bot? Veve feed. Veve feed is showing us that. So Veve feed is showing you can get this premium access, by the way, if you hold a Thor and you tell them in a PM or this guy that you hold a zero rare Thor, then you get this premium feed. So here we go. So top burn collectible. Still, people are apparently burning Electros and Groots and stuff like that for gambling on Soulstone, it seems, which is fine, right? Airdrop 21. This is code redemptions, very likely. I saw yesterday someone got number 4 and number 5 of the blue grenade. The same person. I don't know how this happens. Active wallets on Veve. Look at that. Active wallets on Veve. So this is a daily activity. 2,608. 144% increase. Sellers up, buyers up more than sellers, and minters up by 1,300%. So this shows you that it's not like usual that all the same wallets are minting. No, there are more wallets coming back to mint this specific drop, right? So that is good. And then also, let me see here. Top 4 selling, obviously the stamps, and then also Marvel Mighties, Star Wars, and USPS stamps. Funnily, this is what happens. Like, you drop stamps, people are looking for other stamps, right? Secondary market sales also 7,000 is up by 236. So a lot of sales going on. And the top 4 selling secondary market comics were Amazing Spider-Man 4, Incredible Hulk, Fantastic Four. So we see there's more activity. I like that. I like it. Also, people are spending $500 on this gold ticket, and we still don't know what it is for. So I expect this price to rise more again once it's clear what you can craft with that, right? Also, Superman is slightly up. So overall, like here, someone got a gold logo. That's fine. Here, this is what I meant. Airdrop of the blue grenade, number 4 and number 5 back to non-fungible token. Crazy, weird. Yeah. Overall, sometimes it's interesting to look at these stats, right? Trucking Hank says, I didn't get to participate. Did you hear David on Spaces? I did not. What did David say? I did not hear David on Spaces. Let's check out David's. The only thing that I saw is that this one from Viz Media, which we have, right, because of the Ultraman comic. Announcement, Spider-Man saves you. He should get this comic on the app just because you is you, right? David Yu. But other than that, I don't know, did he reply anything? I didn't see him on Space. But there is the other positive news is exactly this, what David is hinting to. There is a 40-minute video out, a community update. I highly recommend that you watch it. Whether you are positive or negative on Veve at the moment, you should watch it because Ben Rose is on this and he's basically explaining a little bit why Veve got a new co-CEO, what the challenges were, and it's exactly like what we were saying for years now on this channel. I think we were even in the field still, and we were talking about, I think David really needs to focus on licensing, Dan needs to focus on like the implementation and whatever of things, and then they need someone who runs the entire business from a CEO perspective, manages the teams. We said that on this channel, we said this on the videos, and people were like, no, David is the best, and he is really good at what he's doing. But that they did this step, it shows that we were right? And they were like, no, David can run everything by himself, right? And that is, now it's proven that we were right on this channel, right? Now it's proven that we were right, that actually a company that wants to scale and wants to be something, they need someone like Ben Rose. I mean, we will see how what he can really influence. But someone that looks at, and he said, and I think this is one of his roles, he needs to organize the structure. He said they want to implement processes, and this is super important for a company to implement process, right? Structure. So this all needs to happen, and yeah, I think it will happen with him. Also, he said something positive that in the very near future, also the Veveverse will be rolled out. Now, I think, personally, I think they are not waiting until it's ready. They are waiting until the market environment pumps enough so that Veveverse actually lifts Omi to go somewhere, right? So this is happening. Gold logo holder getting lots of stuff at NYCC. It was on Metaverse Live X. Okay. That sounds good, because that also means that it's like these. I mean, there are still gold logos left apparently to redeem, but I wonder. I will ask some of these nerds that are tracking everything, like how many gold logos are potentially left. Someone here said like 20, 30 or so to give away, and then that's it. I really want to see the times in this bull run where there are just no new gold logos anymore hitting the fam or hitting the market, right? I saw someone predicting $1 million per gold logo in on Twitter. I don't think that it will hit that, but if it would, I would definitely sell mine. For 1 million, I'm selling mine for sure. Other than that, if it doesn't hit like a super space astronomy price, I'll just keep it and get some drops. But anyways, guys, make sure to smash up the like button. Very important that you smash up the like button. We have interesting times, we have important times in front of us. From US election over like world economics, over rate cuts, Bitcoin price very likely going to break out here, next phase of the bull run being initiated in this month, over the comeback of altcoins, over Ecomi and Veve having a sentiment switch, right? Something like that, pretty bullish developments here. Let's stay tuned. Let's keep our finger on the pulse of this market every day. So with that said, I see you tomorrow at Crypto Morning Coffee once again, and I'm planning to bring out a video about something more Veve related. But other than that, guys, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning.